10.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Behind the Scenes with me, Skari, your grateful host, wonderful co-hosts, and even more amazing guests. This is a post-game show where we will be discussing the game that you just watched or that you have watched. Play on Tabletop's Genestealer Cult versus Orks.
That's right.
Orks, and it just happened to be with the old Codex.
I know. I think we filmed that game probably days before they announced the Codex drop. It was just like, and the new Codex is coming. Oh, great, thanks. That was nice to know.
Yeah, and that's exactly how that works. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. This is a short and sweet show. It'll be lasting about 18 minutes from right now. So first and foremost, a huge shout out. Thank you so much for coming on, Tanya, the War Mistress Gates, coming onto the show. Why don't you tell people a little about who you are and why you chose to play Orks in this battle report, since they are very orky.
Okay. Well, I'm Tanya, otherwise known as the War Mistress, and I paint minis and I play games. And I'm on a mission to be nice and roll dice. And you can follow along with me on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Forge the Narrative podcast.
Which, of course, the links will be down below because we love plugs for the plug god in the show here. Now, it was an absolute pleasure to sponsor this episode of Play on Tabletop, and I did it mainly because I really love what the Play on Tabletop crew is doing, and I had no idea. It's about building community, which is it's hugely important, you know what I mean? And we stick together as content creators, and I love what you folks are doing over there. So why not support it as best as I can, which is by sending you money. Now we've got, as much as I can. Helps keep the lights on, right? Because we know YouTube ads don't give you any money. So not much. So Tanya, I did not know you were going to be the person to play this game.
I didn't either.
And which is hilarious. So it's really cool. Okay, so why don't you introduce yourself? Because I think you like Tau, yet you played Genestealer Cult.
You're talking to me, right? Yes. Some people call me Tau Nick, I guess. I am just Nick, but I do have other armies, and I do enjoy other armies as well. Tau are in a tough spot, and so I thought, why not grab the other worst army in 40k right now and play the Genestealer Cult?
Worst army. It really depends on who's playing it, really.
Perspective is everything, that is for sure. And you know what? I enjoy both those armies so much because of how they play and their play style. The Genestealer Cult are just fun with lots of zany rules, and you can do lots of fun stuff. Especially stuff that I don't normally get to do with my Tau, like pop up in the middle of nowhere and charge you and explode in your face. So that was tons of fun.
Which is really awesome. Okay, so let's dive into the battle report post-game show. Now, of course, all of the orcs that you were playing with were Gear Gut Spec Shop orcs.
Correct.
And they're painted amazingly. How long did it take you to paint the orcs? Because the blue and the green, they look so cool.
So I had painted all of the boys. I had painted 39 boys on assembly line. That was my first project that I did on Twitch. I did that in November. But almost anything else, so the trucks, the two big knots, and the commandos, I painted in the month prior. I kind of speed painted them really fast to get ready for this battle report because they were not ready to go. And when Nick asked if I wanted to bring the orcs, I was like, okay, but the list is going to be funny because it's just going to be based off what I realistically think that I could paint in that month leading up to it. So,
which is awesome because we do, and you got to play against them, Nick. But I mean, you got to see them firsthand. I can't wait to see them when I go down to Attack X in September, which is going to be really fun.
You assume I'm going to be playing orcs.
No, I just want to see them. Okay, you just have to bring one of them so I can see them. You and I have been hanging out a lot on Just Put Paint on It, which is a show that we do some days a week on Twitch. It started as
We used to do it every day.
We used to do it every day. However, as things have been opening up, it's hard to commit to every single day doing a 2-hour long stream, which has been a lot of, and getting a different guest every single day, which has definitely been a journey, a very fun journey. So Nick, did you work on that Genestealer Cult list? Is that your list, or is that a studio army?
No, that's my army. I built that myself. In fact, actually, we don't really have many studio armies. All of our armies are kind of our own passion projects. We really probably should get some studio armies just because we find ourselves painting so much. We're like, we gotta paint for this upcoming game. Oh no, now we gotta paint for this upcoming game. So we probably should get some studio armies, but no, that's my own labor of love. My favorite model I did the we called him Spike, and it was a Carnifex being pulled along with chains by 2 Genestealer Cults as if they had captured him. And I eventually wanted to do a whole allied Tyranid force of all like I want to do Hormigons as like attack dogs. And somebody suggested when they saw it riding some like maybe warriors or something like that.
Yeah.
Some Genestealer Cults riding them. It was fun.
I feel like Genestealer Cult are like they have such an ironic existence. You know, they're very like excited about like the hive mind coming to save them and the four-armed emperor, and then like as soon as the Tyranids show up and start killing everything, like the synaptic link gets like severed and they come to the like horrible realization of what they have become. And I feel like it's like
so terrible.
It's like Greek tragedy just like oozes off of the page at that point, being like, "Oh, you suckers, drank from the Kool-Aid."
I've dedicated my life to a lie.
Which is kind of how that works.
I think orcs have like the best existence in the grimdark future because they're just having a party every single day.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And if they believe it exists, then it exists. Which is like a really weird thing to think about, you know? Like, I want this gun to shoot. Does it have a firing pin? No. It just shoots. Like, that's just weird. Like, they just make things, they manifest it.
Beautiful.
It's like they read the secret and they're just making it happen every single day of their lives. Being like, I'm reaping what I sow in my mind.
They need to like start believing that they can hit better then.
Burn. Or you get a grot to do it for you, in which case, you know, just kind of like compartmentalize it and make a grot do it. Okay, so going to the game itself, when you look at Genestealer Cult, do you know much about Genestealer Cult, Tanya? Or did you go into that game like not knowing anything of what Genestealer Cults do?
I was familiar with some of the units and what they did. Mm-hmm. But for me, I have a really hard time like reading rules and really like understanding what that means. So I went into this game and I was like, I'm just going to see what they do and I'm going to learn a lot. And then when I go and play against Genestealer Cult next time, then I will have an even greater understanding because for me, that is just part of my learning process. So I mean, even when we were deploying, Nick was like, okay, this is what this unit of bikers does. And I was like, I need to see it. I'm deploying on the line.
You did see it. Those bikers came in. But they whiffed so hard. They came in with the grenades, they threw it and did like...
Sometimes the best...
that you weren't going to kill
it is that it? You tempted fate, right? Was it Gork or was it Mork that decided to have your back on that one?
That one was Gork.
Because Gork, the four-armed emperor, seems to totally abandon you, Nick, for that one there as well.
For that one, but then I charged in with the
Rock Rider.
The Rock Rider. Yeah. I charged you with a vehicle, a bulldozer, and I beat you with that.
Yeah. I find, you know, because I've played it, I find that Genestealer Cult right now has like a bad rep for being, as you said, a lower tier army. But I find that they have a lot of nuanced like game mechanics that help even at a competitive level, like and I've seen them do very well competitively, you know, namely say Dustin Henshaw from the Stutter Scrub podcast, fellow Team Canada member, Alex McDougall, who uses Genestealer Cult all the time. He's from your neck of the woods, you know. Like, so playing Genestealer Cult, what are some of the cool mechanics that you find are like the most iconic that you hope they don't change in the new Codex?
Well, the whole blip thing and how you deploy is just so cool. Like you deploy
Blips.
like you don't know where they are, and you can really
He's
manipulate
got
that.
PTSD about it.
But it's so cool, and you can do so many cool stratagems with them, like make 3 more appear. Like these are imaginary blips, or move them. So like, and just the ability, especially for close combat armies, if you go second, to say nope, you can't move within 9 inches. Sorry, and then I'm gonna turn out that these ones aren't actually there. They're
Or they
fake,
move
or
away,
whatever you want.
or whatever it is, and then I'm gonna. Oh, look! I reveal them, and they're going to shoot you when I reveal them. Ooh, like so annoying. Okay, that's
It's
what
a
that
lot of fun.
is.
All the little feeling of like they're all like hiding and waiting and like jumping up here and jumping up there. It's a ton of fun. Like when it lands and it does well, it does so well, and it's so rewarding.
Oh well, I hope. I honestly, when I saw the blip mechanic, I looked at it and went, "This is ridiculously powerful." And I feel it's not something that like the average player really thinks too much about. They just put the blips down. But like the being able to influence the game in such a manner with so
Oh yeah.
much knowledge of what's happening is kind of like miracle dice. Like you take all the randomness away from what's trying to happen, and it can be a very powerful mechanic. And anybody in chat or anybody in the comments can like poo-poo all over what I'm saying right now, but I'm a positive person, okay? And I see the best in the worst. So
Well, it's really
get
kind of as
good,
if you're
scrub.
like sometimes people like extol the virtues of like deploying second. You deploy your entire army second. You can see where the enemy
Yeah.
deploys and
Yeah.
anti-deploy to them. You really can do that. You can deploy as if you're going to go first. You can deploy as if you're going to go a second, and then choose later.
Yep, and that's it. And just pick and go. And I find a lot of the times with that sort of mechanic, you like going second, right? You're like, I don't care what you do on your first turn. I can
Yeah.
see what you do and then totally react to what you do, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Very useful.
Yeah, so let's pivot towards some orcs. And Tanya, new Orc Codex.
Yes.
You got to play with the old one. It was a last hurrah. Great game, by the way. So entertaining. So many laughs. Like you were having so much fun, and it was a very close game. It was very
so
close.
I feel like I should have lost.
I feel like
I deployed on the line. You should have won.
It was a 50-50 shot, and I went for it.
That's right.
50% of the time, it works every time. And so now that the new codex is coming out, have you kind of looked at the list you took in this battle report and been like, this is what this list looks in the new rules? And would you go for no? And would you no? And would you go for a rematch with the new rules? And do you think it would change the outcome of the game if you had some cool tools from the new codex?
If I took this list.
So very similar list to what you played, just translated it into the new codex and then played against the same army that Nick took.
What you doing tomorrow?
Rematch time.
I don't think it would work with how, like, now that the Knots are Lord of Wars, I would have to completely change the list. So
but like
I'm
the
not too
DACA
sure.
on those guys, like DACA, was it DACA 20 or something? Like or DACA 40 or whatever it is? Like that Gatling cannon on that Gorkanaut is ridiculous with the amount of shots that it has. So, and they got more wounds and stuff. I don't know. Would it be worth the command points that you spend on it? Like, then you could maybe even take a Stompa.
Maybe.
Hashtag
you know what?
save the Stompa.
It probably would be worth it because the orc stratagems are very expensive and very specific in what they can do, right? So it usually only works on one unit type under really specific circumstances. So I feel like I'm actually going to be using less stratagems with orcs. So yeah, maybe it would be worth it to actually pay the CP to bring them.
Nice.
Something to think about.
I like it. Well, it is food for thought. So, Nick, what was your favorite part of the game? At the end of the day, the memory that you will take home, and never forget.
So many. Mind controlling your Morgoth to shoot your trucks was so fun. And then mind controlling your war boss to kill your psyker was so much fun. And then Spike just holding the line in the center there, and it just made all the difference. And that just scrum in the middle where it came down to like a single dice roll, and the game would have gone a different way. Yeah. You were a great opponent. So much fun.
I love it when a single dice roll can dictate the pace of an entire game. Tanya, what is your takeaway from the game that you played at Play on Tabletop?
Well, my favorite moment again was like that last round where we were just like basically punching each other over the center objective. To me, that's just like what orcs are all about, right? Just meeting in the middle and punching. And so I really, really liked that. But the thing that I took away from that game was that I should have been more aggressive with my war boss. And actually, the week after, I played the exact same list, and I was like, okay, I'm going to YOLO the war boss. Yep. And I won that game like decisively because that war boss killed Ahriman, and then it killed a demon prince, and then it took a bunch of wounds off of a second demon prince, all by the end of turn 2. So that's what I learned.
I agree.
Yeah, I think
that sounds
I
like
think if you had gotten aggressive with that war boss, I think the game would have been a different story.
Well, note to self, make sure you grab your war boss and yeet him across the battlefield. Yeet! And just like crush into your opponent as fast as possible. Don't make him a truck boy, because then he won't fit in a truck. Don't forget that. Of course, that'll hopefully be changed by the time you see this video. So, Nick, before we finish up for this post-game show, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or send your regards to?
Well, really just want to say thank you, Skari. Thank you for sponsoring us, and thank you for being a part of this, and hosting this. We don't usually get to do post-game shows just because of how much production it takes to do all this stuff. So it's pretty cool to be able to do it. And thank you, Tanya, for coming in. It's awesome. Yeah.
It's funny. Okay, little tidbit before we go. Nick comes on. He's setting up his like super mics don't work, like super fancy mics. He's like, what mic? And then he ends up using the crappy mic that's connected to his headset. We're like, yeah.
This microphone not working. I'm testing my lavalier. It's not working. Finally, it's like, all right, fine. I will use the headset.
Join the dark side with
that's right.
Headset.
Good old low overhead gang. Hashtag low overhead gang. Anyway, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Nick.
Yeah, if I'm saying thank you to anyone, it's thank you to all the fans that are watching and all the patrons that are watching. Like. It's still mind-blowing that we're able to do this and so many people watch it. Like it's really bizarre, and it's so weird when I'm like browsing Reddit or something like that and like, hey, they're mentioning me. What? So it's still really cool, and it's a lot of fun playing the game, and I had a blast playing that game, and I'm looking forward to playing more.
I love it. Thanks so much, Nick. Ooh,
and
tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow.
Attack X.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see you at Attack X.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still debating what to take. Tower, Genestealer Cult.
Me too.
One of those two. I'm still debating.
Flip a coin. Let
the
fate
I enjoyed that Genestealer army. Maybe I'll bring that. I don't know.
Well, Tanya Gates, why don't you tell a little bit about who you are and where they can find you, and a little shout out you'd like to do before we finish up for the day.
Well, I actually want to shout out Skari as well, because you've been an amazing friend to me and a mentor and a really big support for me over the past couple of years, and you've seen me at my best and my worst, and you're still my friend. So thank you so much.
You are worth the friendship, Tanya. Thanks a lot for being there. I want to be Nick, thanks for showing up. Tanya, thanks for showing up. I want to shout out all the channel Patreons without whom I wouldn't be able to sponsor someone like Play on Tabletop. So thank you very much for being there for me through thick and thin and letting me live my freaking dream of creating content, making videos, and playing games, and providing entertainment. If you haven't watched the battle report already, I will be linking up the battle report in the description of the video. Make sure you head on over and watch this action-packed, super fun battle report over on the Play on Tabletop channel if you don't know who they are already and you've been living under a rock. I've been Skari, your grateful host. This has been Tanya, and this has been Genestealer Cult, Nick. Townick?
Sure.
Signing off until next time. Skari out. And don't forget to hashtag just put paint on it. Bye, everybody.
Cheers, dude.